Hey guys, I'm going to do the Chapter 8 review. I'll get you started. I probably won't do the problems all the way through, but enough that it'll help you, okay? Remember your reference sheets. You want to have those ready for the test as well. Okay, we're going to just solve a couple proportions. There are a couple on the test. You always multiply the top by the opposite bottom. Set it equal to the product of the top times the bottom. Opposite bottom. So 8 times x equals 9 times 7. It doesn't matter if you put the x first or the 8 first. I like the coefficient up front. 8x equals 63, and then you're dividing by 8. Okay? So whatever that divides out to be. This one, same thing. Multiply the top times the opposite bottom. Excuse me. Top times opposite bottom. Now, when I do this, the 8 is on the back side again. When I went top times opposite bottom, I don't like the 8 on the back side, so I'm going to rewrite it, and I'm going to move it to the front side. I'm putting r plus 8 in parentheses. It's 8 times all of this. 9 times 5 is 45. Keep your equal sign. Distributive property. Then you always want to get the r isolated by itself on one side of the equal sign by itself. So you have to get rid of the 64. Inverse of addition is subtraction. And then divide by 8, whatever that comes out to be. Okay? This one says I have two triangles that are similar. So I'm going to go ahead and draw them. I don't know, okay, ABC. A matches up with X. B corresponds to Y, second letters. And then C corresponds to Z. So I know that these angles, the way I have it laid out, this would translate, it would slide right over, they match up. From A to C is 21 long. From B to C is 18 long. The scale factor between the two, from XYZ to this, we're going to say 3 to 5. Okay? The question says, draw and label the triangles, find the length of YZ. This, so I'll go ahead and call this a D. I want to find this length from Y to Z. So 18 is to D, oops. As 21 is, no, as there's nothing that matches with the 21. Notice that? This is a distractor. 5 is to 3. And then just solve it. Okay. So this one, I think this one's a little tricky. The two triangles are similar. Solve for x. You have to make sure you match up the sides. So the question is, does 48 correspond to the 2x minus 16 length, or does it correspond to the 8? So I'm going to go J to L. When I look at this, okay, J to L is first and last letters, right? So I have to use first and last letters here, because corresponding, it's all about patterns. They have to match. So J to L corresponds to S to L. Okay? So this 48 goes with the 2x minus 16. So I'm going to have 48 over 2x minus 16. Then it says K to L. K to L, first two letters. L to R, first two letters. So then that means the other two sides match up, right? So that means the 32 corresponds to the 8. And I'm going all by the pattern of my similarity statement. So 48 to 2x minus 16. I'm going from the top triangle to this bottom triangle. 48 to this, 32 to 8. Now, this 32 to 8 is my scale factor, but I'm going to go ahead and reduce it. Either use your calculator or just divide by 8, okay? My proportion I have right here. This is my proportion. Okay. You could put 4 to 1 or 32 to 8, either way. So I'm going to go top times opposite bottom, top times opposite bottom, right? So I'm going to write the 32 first, so my work is easier. I did not reduce it. A lot of you guys aren't going to. If you reduce it, your numbers are a lot nicer. 32 times 2, 64x, right? 32 times 16. Oh, goodness. Let me clear it off. Hold on. 32 times 16 is 512. 48 times 8, 384. Add the 512. And then divide by 64. Okay? Use the figures at the right to find the measure of angle K. So I got to do this first. Are they similar? Why or why not? And if they are similarity, write the similarity statement. So on this, your big thing, math, geometry, special number, 180. So the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle are always 180. I use up 64 for this angle. I use up 90 for this angle. How much do I have left? So I've got 180. I use up, so I subtract my 64. I use up, I subtract another 90, and that gives me 26 degrees right here. So now I can look. I've got 90, 64, 26. I've got 90 and 26. That would mean this is also 64 if you want to fill it in. You subtract, they're going to be equal. They have to be equal. If two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, third angles, that leftover amount has to be equal. So we found the measure of angle K, which is 26 degrees. Are they similar? Yes. The only three similarity statements we have are angle, angle similarity, side, side, side similarity, side, angle, side similarity. Those are our only three theorems, not statements, theorems that we have. In this, I have absolutely no sides given. It cannot be either of the two theorems that require sides. So it's angle, angle. I've got two pairs of angles that are congruent. So that's my theorem. And then I'm going to write the theorem, the similarity statement. So I'm going to say triangle CDE is similar to triangle. C is 26, so it matches up with K. D is 90, matches up with G. And then the E has to match up with H, right? They're both 64, and it's the only one I have left. So KGH. Scale factor. Find two sides, the ratio of the two corresponding sides. I got 7 to 21. I'm going to reduce it. Either use your calculator fraction button or just do it. Okay? Find the common denominator and common factor. So if this is the scale factor to find the sides, the scale factor for the perimeters is exactly the same. If you do areas, you have to square them. Some of you may have left it 7 over 21 and you're squaring that. Okay? Find the proportion to find the area. So I'm going 1 is to 9, okay? Because I'm taking the square, equals 84 to whatever the area of this, which I have to find the area of that, okay? So 84 to x. You're going to do your cross products. So I got 1x equals 84 times 9. Let's say that you didn't reduce and you left it 7 over 21. If you did all of these, scale factor 7 over 21, the scale factor of the perimeter 7 over 21, scale factor of the areas then would be 7 squared, 21 squared. So this would be 49, I think it's 250, let's see, 21 times 21. Oh, I was way wrong. 21 times 21, I should have known. 441. So when I do this, instead of 1 to 9, I've got these big numbers. Okay, and you're going to do the same process. Okay, notice how much easier it is when you reduce. Okay, now it's telling me, let's go back. We're talking about perimeter again. Perimeter, we don't square it. We just use the scale factor. So the perimeter of, I don't need the area on this one, the perimeter of GHJK is 38. Find the perimeter of this one. So I'm still going to go 7 is to 21 as 38 is to my perimeter, or 1 is to 3. I'm just doing it reduced. 38 is to my perimeter. And then you're going to do your cross products. The same thing. Okay? Okay, this one says find the value of x. Notice two curves. Angle B matches up with F because there's two curves. C corresponds to G. Angle D corresponds to angle H. Angle A corresponds to angle E. So this just translates right over. They slide. There's no flip or anything. So in this one, we're going to go corresponding sides. 16 to 10 equals corresponding sides. It's just the ratio of the corresponding sides. Now you can reduce this to make your work a lot easier. Let's not reduce it. Top times opposite bottom equals top times opposite bottom. I'm not going to do it all the way. Okay, 16x minus 64 equals 300. Add the 64. And then you're going to divide by the 16. Okay? And that'll give you what x is. That's all they asked for. Find the value of x. Okay. You got, because I've done this problem before, it says a flagpole is 20 feet long. And then there's a building next to it with an 85-foot long shadow. So I know the building's a lot taller, so I'm going to do that one first. Just so I'm consistent with the other problems I've done. It's not like you have to. Okay. So I've got my two right triangles. Here's my building. Now, this is what kids were doing that made it hard. It has a 20-foot shadow. I had some kids writing the 20 down here. And I get it, because the shadow's 20 foot long. So they're going, that's the length of it. It makes it harder to see, because it won't be like we've been doing our problems. Put 20 along the side length. Put it right in the middle of the side. We're saying this guy's 20 long. Okay? Oops, this shadow for the, I'm sorry, you guys look at flagpole. 24-foot flagpole. This one has a shadow that's 20 long. This is my flagpole. Okay? Now, the flagpole is 24 foot. So don't put 24 up here. Again, just write the 24 on the side. That's how tall it is. And then we have an 85-foot shadow for this. 85. And the question is, find the height of the building. This is my building, right? Here it is, okay? How tall is the building? What is my height? I'm not going to put my H or my X, whatever you call it, on the top. I'm putting it on the side. So I'm going to go height to height, right? Equals shadow length to shadow length. And these are all measured in feet, so we're easy. It's easy, good to go. Here's my sun, which is why these angles are the same. Okay? Now, this one's saying I've got two parallelograms that are similar. So I got, okay. Now, you don't really have to draw this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But all the proportions. If they're similar, that means the corresponding angles are congruent, right? Okay, you write the other two. And, right, because if they're similar, that's what similar means. It means the corresponding angles have to be congruent. And it means all the sides, when you write the ratios, the corresponding sides are equal. So that means the sides are proportional. So the ratios all have to be equal. So if I go side AB, the first two letters has to be to EF. Side BC, the second two letters, has to go with FG. And then just write the other two. All these have to be the same. Okay? Just film it. So on this one, they're telling you, in the figure at the right, you've got a triangle. I see by the arrows that this side, DE, the segment DE, okay, is parallel to segment AC. And we said if a segment's drawn in that's parallel to one side, it divides the other two sides proportionally. So these are going to be divided proportionally. And it says B, we have to find BE, so that's where I'm going to put my X. So 12 is to 3, as 10 is to X. And then do your cross products again, okay, and solve it. And then, okay? You guys can divide it on the calculator. Okay. Now here, are they similar, yes or no? Again, we've got angle, angle similarity, side, side, side similarity, and side, angle, side similarity. When I look at this, I see no sides written. It cannot be side. Like when I look down at this one, look. I've got 3 sides, 3 sides. Yeah, this one's probably going to be side, side, side. This one, there's no side lengths drawn in. So it cannot be side, side, side. It cannot be side, angle, side. It would have to be angle, angle. Okay? I've got vertical angles are congruent. Remember, 2 lines that intersect form vertical angles. You have the left, right. You also have the top, bottom. But we're not worried about the top, bottom on this because they're not inside this triangle. You also look at the arrows, the sides of the arrows. Those are your parallel sides, right? Let's pick just one of the transversals. Okay, you can do both. When I look at this, I want the alternate interior angles. There's Z angles. This angle is congruent to this angle. So I've got 2 pairs of angles congruent to 2 pairs of angles. So yes, it is. Why? It's angle, angle similarity. And notice this is going to be a flip. I'm going to go triangle RVS. This is going to be easier for me because I'm starting with the angle that I know and angle that I know is similar to triangle. R matches up with T. V goes with V. And then S goes with U. Okay, on this one, again, look, there's no sides, not one side. So if this works, it's got to be angles. Now I can look at this, parallel. Oh, no. It's okay. Parallel, parallel. This is my transversal that intersects the 2 parallel. So when I draw it over here, do you guys see? You got the F angles, right? Corresponding angles are congruent. So this angle is congruent to this angle. Parallel lines cut by a transversal, corresponding angles congruent. This is why. Okay? They both have angle N in it. I could also look at this transversal and see that this, I'm trying to put 3 curves and 3 curves. So those angles are congruent. So you've got the triangle this way, and then you've got the whole triangle. Okay, you've got 2 triangles. You've got just the top and then the whole entire thing. Are they similar? Yes. Why? Angle, angle similarity. The similarity statement would be triangle MNP. I'm doing just the top of it, like this top, is similar to triangle LN. Is that O? I think it's an O. Okay? And then the last one, if this one's going to work, it's got to be side, 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 right? So I'm going to go short, medium, long, short, medium, long. So these are laid out. They just translate. They slide on top of each other. I'm going to go short to short, medium to medium, and long to long. I'm going to check, are they equal? Are they? Oh, let's check them. You could either just reduce the fractions to see if the fractions are equal, or you could go ahead and divide. This is 1.16 repeating, 1.16 repeating, 1.16 repeating. Okay? So I have all three sides, the corresponding sides, the ratios are equal. That means they are proportional. So this is called side, side, side similarity. Yes. Triangle DCE is similar to triangle. They just slide on each other. DCE, KJL. Okay? And then the last one. Find length JM. Here's J to M. Okay, I'm going to put an X there. Look at my numbers. I've got parallel lines intersecting two transversals, so that means these lengths are proportional. Oh, hold on. There we go. Told me to find JM. Sorry, you guys. So J to M. So here's what I'm looking at. These lengths, because the lines are parallel, the three lines are parallel intersecting two transversals. It divides the transversals into proportional lengths. So I'm going to go ahead and say 16 to X, 15 to 18. Make sure you can see it, okay? And that's it. Do the same thing we keep doing. And then divide by 15. Okay, I hope that helps. Good luck on your test. Make sure you have your reference sheets and your notes ready. Thanks, you guys.